Hey, welcome to my channel. On this video, I'm going to show you how to build that vanity. I built it for my wife for Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. So I started off this process thinking I was going to be building shelves instead of drawers. So if you're thinking you want to build drawers, then you can just skip forward to the part where I build the upper box for the cabinet. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting dados, which is just like a slot for the shelf to sit into on the sides of the plywood. After I had already cut all those slots, that was when we decided that we wanted to do drawers instead of shelves. So I just put these in just for support and to fill those slots that I already cut. And you can use any kind of plywood. I'm using 1/2-inch plywood and then some scrap melamine, just because I don't like to waste anything. Actually, in this project, you'll see me using a lot of different materials, and that's because I don't like to waste anything. So if I have a material that will fit, then I tend to use it. So I made mine into 4 different parts: the 2 lower boxes, and then the middle box, and then the upper cabinet. I did this so that we could easily take it apart if we ever needed to move it. At this point, I realized that I needed a hole in the top because my wife wanted the top to be glass so that you could see inside of it. So I had to cut out that piece with a jigsaw. And then this is just putting on the face frame. And I did it this way so that I could take it all apart. So each of these frames are only hooked to the boxes that they go with, so that you can take it apart and the frame will go with each piece. Even though normally with face frames you'd want them to be one piece, this one was a little different, just so that I could take this apart into each individual piece of the vanity. For the face frame, I just used Select Pine from Home Depot. It's super cheap, and honestly it worked really great for this project. And then for the trim pieces on the sides, I just used some MDF and some 1/2-inch or 1/4-inch plywood that I had left over in the shop. So just glue it and then nail it on with some brad nails. And then I just clamped it on. Here I'm just using my Craig pocket hole jig to screw together a face frame for the upper cabinet. And this is exactly how you would do it for the lower 2 cabinets if you were going to go that route and didn't want to do it the way I did the face frame. And of course, you're going to want to putty all of your brad nail holes or any imperfections in the wood. And then glue that face frame onto that upper cabinet, and then brad nail it on. I'm thinking of doing a video on how to build a drawer box, but this video was getting a little too long, so I just decided to throw this little short part in the video. And then just cut all of the drawer faces. I just used some cheap pine from Home Depot, and I just cut them into the right size squares and then rounded over the edges on the router. And here I'm just attaching the drawer faces to the boxes. It's pretty simple, just make sure everything is lined up, and it goes by pretty quickly. I didn't realize how bald I was, so I saw the back of my head in this video. And for the top of the vanity, I decided to use the pocket hole jig and kind of make a face frame but this is going to be so that the glass has something to sit on and it looks pretty underneath the glass. So I just used some select pine and made some pocket holes and then glued it together just like you would make a face frame, but this is going to be the top of the vanity desk. And then I only attached it to that middle box because I wanted to keep it so that all the pieces could be taken apart easily. And then I'm just going to be making a basic shaker door for the upper cabinet, and I'm just cutting a groove in this. And if you need more detail for this part of the video, I do have another video on this, and there's tons of videos on how to make a shaker door. So essentially you're just cutting a groove for the panel to sit in, and then you cut the panel to size, and then you're going to be gluing it all together. I just glue it all together and get some clamps and clamp it down nice and tight. And then I get these little shims and plug the holes that are left on the side. Glue it, a lot of glue on these. Wait till it dries, and then you can trim those off really easily with just a flush trim saw. And then of course you're gonna sand, and depending on the kind of wood you're using or the quality of the wood or how nice your cuts were when you made these faces for those drawers, you're gonna wanna either start off with a pretty low grit sandpaper like 80, 120, 150, 220, something like that. In my case, these were in really good shape, all the cuts were nice, so I just started off with 150 and then did 220, and then it was ready for paint. And I just did all of the edges, rounded over that round over a little nicer, and then it was ready to go. And of course you gotta sand the rest of it, all the face frames and the rest of the boxes and stuff. And then it's time for paint. And you can paint with anything you want. If you want to roll it on or brush it on or both or spray it on, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you guys. I just have this nice sprayer, so I just decided to spray it all. And the quality of the sprayer is actually really, really nice. I bought this one at Home Depot. It was the first time I spent some real money on a paint sprayer. It was about 300 bucks at Home Depot. If you're curious about the paint sprayer, I'm using the Graco Magnum X5, and I did do a YouTube video on that sprayer as well, so feel free to check that out. It does a pretty nice job though. As you can see, it's nice and smooth. And there it is, all set up. My wife loves it. So if you like this video, please like it and subscribe. And thanks for watching. See ya.